Hello everybody, it's Joe Ty from Simply Better Communications, and today I'm pleased to announce that I've hit the 100 follower mark for my company page Simply Better Communications. Thank you everybody for the support who's followed the page, engaged with any of my posts or perhaps seen them in some of the groups. But today, vanity metrics aside, what I wanted to talk about is how LinkedIn has been crucial to kicking off my career as a freelancer. And it really has. LinkedIn has acted as my CV, my prospecting service, my shop window, my networking group, my source of advice and guidance, and has really been crucial at every stage of kind of developing my business. And the truth is, a lot of the tactics that I use are not tactics that are anything new. A lot of them have been around for some time, and a lot of them, receive a little bit of negativity from other communications professionals, perhaps thinking around the kind of effectiveness of each tactic and, whether it's really creating impact for you. So today I wanted to debunk some of those tactics and talk about them in a kind of wider sense, and some of the benefits they've brought to my particular career. And hopefully that will give you some guidance and advice for building your own personal brands and also using with clients as well. So I hope you enjoy the video. So first on the list is connecting with communications professionals is a waste of time if you are a communications professional. And this was actually inspired by a post I saw by a fellow communications professional that was actually just saying that, creating content for your own kind is pointless, it's a waste of time, why would you do it? And I kind of take the thought that being connected to professionals in the industry that are of the same experience or different experience to myself, perhaps have different skill sets in the world of communications, has been useful because I'm continuously learning by seeing the content appear on my feed. I've seen some really inspiring campaigns that might have a part to play in my kind of future development as a communications professional, using kind of inspiring ideas to come up with new ones, learning new skills, learning new things that professionals are doing and things to be aware of in the industry. It's really important that, no matter what sector you're in the communication space, that you keep your communication skills developing. So for me, connecting with professionals in the industry and messaging a few, engaging with them, seeing what sorts of work that they're in and what they're doing, it's really impactful, and taking the time to do it is definitely worthwhile. Let's all be honest, we've all had the in-mail messages from a recruiter saying that they've got these opportunities. I had many when I was in my agency capacity, and most of the time we just brush them off. We just think that that's irrelevant, that's it's not going to be of any interest to myself, and I don't like the way that they've been pushy in terms of approaching with an in-mail message or connecting to you directly to then send you that prospecting message. My experience has been a little bit different with recruiters because they have actually been quite supportive to my career at the right time. So when I was previously considering a new role in my career, moving to another agency, it was actually a recruiter message that inspired that move, learning a little bit more about the role. And even in my freelance capacity, what I didn't understand is that recruiters would actually recruit for freelancers as well, and it's been the kind of first step into my first client at Simply Better Communications. So give them the time of day, but only if they send you a relevant message, because I've also received lots of recruited messages that perhaps are just a little generic. They don't take the time to actually read your profile. And also, just for kind of career advice as well, speaking to a recruiter, a lot of them have experience in the communications industry, so having those conversations can help you kind of develop your career and know exactly what to do when applying for your next role. So yeah, definitely don't disregard recruiters. Keep engaging with them. They can be very helpful to you. Connecting in groups and engaging in groups is a waste of time, and it can take a lot of time. I must admit, as a communications professional, finding the relevant groups that might be beneficial to your career. It's not just about posting in the groups, because at the end of the day, if you've joined the group just to post, then you're likely not to get that engagement. But if you can build up a little bit of a reputation in the group, perhaps commenting on some other people's posts, sharing your thoughts, engaging, answering polls and things like that, it helps build your reputation in that group, so that when you publish a post, people are more likely to engage with it. And I've had some real success in the groups, actually, for Simply Better Communications. And in particular, there's a public relations forum, which, again, for a public relations professional speaking to public relations people, how beneficial could this be, right? But what I've actually used quite frequently in the groups is polls to develop certain opinions and get some kind of really interesting insight on burning questions in the communications world. And in some particular groups, I've had thousands of poll results come through. And actually, one of my most recent successes is that I'm using some of the results from one of those group polls in an article that I'm publishing for a reputable PR media publication. So it is useful, and you think about the amount of money that you might spend on a survey or getting a poll out to a certain audience. There are lots of groups for various different sectors that you can engage in, be that as a professional and your professional self, or be that as a kind of business as well, and communicating that way. So I definitely recommend engage in the groups, comment, and just look for the right groups for you. Connecting with strangers is not a waste of time, and particularly as you're developing your personal brand, it's important to expose yourself to as many professionals who could be interested in your content as possible. And if you keep a very kind of limited network where you're only connecting with friends and people then in my view, then you're not sharing your content with the world, you're not sharing your content with the right people necessarily. So LinkedIn prospecting and engaging and connecting with managing directors from around Essex, around the sectors that I'm hoping to work in, has been quite key for me, and building my network as I go along. Now, part of this is in the way that you do it. Very early in my career, I was told that, with LinkedIn prospecting, it's quantity over quality. Just get the messages out there and hope that they connect, and then, follow up with a sales prospecting message. For me, that's not been the case. I feel it's important that you value the people that you're connecting with, and that they might have some influence on, or give you some inspiration for some of the work that you're doing. So when I'm looking for contacts to connect with, I'm ensuring that those are not just going to be benefited by my content, but I might benefit from their content as well. In the prospecting message, it's not even a prospecting message, it's an introduction. Introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Joe, I'm a communications professional looking to expand my network in the local area. Simple as that. You don't need to go full hog on what you are, what services you deliver, because at the end of the day, you're not selling to them. You are inviting them to connect with you in the same way that you would approach an individual at a networking event. So for me, keeping it really kind of personable and trying to understand what value they might gain from yourself and your services is key. And then once you're connected to them, at the end of the day, they're seeing your content. So it's not about that pushy sales message. It's about creating content that they might see and they might be influenced by, and then they might come back to you for support. Don't be pushy. Just keep it really personable and enjoy the connections. Don't share your secrets with the world. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now, right? But To be honest, they're not secrets. These aren't original ideas. They are ideas that are well known. You can find on any good LinkedIn blog. What I feel like it's important to do as a communications professional, and particularly for me as a freelancer, because I haven't necessarily got the case studies of previous clients and testimonials to work with, coming from agency, I have to be cautious with that. So for me, it's about sharing my skills and expertise as a professional. As I mentioned, a lot of the tactics are already known and can be found on any good blog. But because I've built my network, I'm engaging with new contacts that might not have seen that content. I'm getting extra exposure for my expertise. And what has been quite useful for me as well in creating these videos is that when I'm pitching to a new client or when I am engaging with a recruiter, I can share this content with them to actually kind of broadcast myself and help new prospective clients understand a little bit more about me. So obviously there are some things that you might want to hold back. It's not about chucking every idea out there, but by sharing your expertise and skills as a professionals and letting people know who you are and what you believe in, I feel is important. And don't hold back, basically, in my view. Be as proactive as you can and create content that matters.